Ajay Umar and Manaswi Thapar, an advocate and panelist. Ajay Umar, in this case, I am quite surprised at the poor reaction from the Gujarat government. It seems to me that their only interest is in localizing the political impact of this incident rather than taking action. I mean, I just heard that the Rajkot police commissioner has been transferred. When they know that the entire system there, including the Rajkot civil administration, are involved in this, in what has led to this tragedy, how can they limit the reaction, Ajay?
Arnab, they have transferred commissioner of police, they have transferred municipal commissioner also afterwards, because Gujarat High Court told Gujarat government that now we don't trust you. We don't trust you. How can we trust you? Because what happened in Morbi, that Gujarat High Court has to take suo motu cognizance, where 141 people died. Before 3 months, 18 children died in Baroda boat mishap. And again Gujarat High Court has to take suo motu cognizance. In Shrey Hospital in Ahmedabad, 8 patients charged to death. And Gujarat High Court has to take suo motu cognizance, and Gujarat High Court has directed government of Gujarat, all the municipal commissioner, urban development secretary, and they were told, if you see so many cases, I can cite you in last 5 years, Taksila Kand, where 22 young boys, they died, they jumped, they charged, their bodies were charged. And the only action was inaction on part of government of Gujarat. Every time they appoint a special investigation team, and then, they don't publish their report, they don't publish action taken report, and they don't even bother to put this report in the assembly also. So people are very angry in Gujarat, and this time also, it's an eyewash.
But how come they don't care? No, but how come in this case, this should have been a huge controversy? It should have been debated. Have people just given up on protesting? You see, what has happened here is, Manaswi, this is like the Upar fire tragedy that had happened in the 1990s in Delhi. It shook the country's conscience. But just because this case is happening in Rajkot and not in the nation's capital, it's sort of been buried, taken off the headlines within a day. There is no investigation. There are no heads which are rolling, no minister who has been sacked.
Arnab, I'm thankful that you are taking up this debate to the national level, and I guess now other media should take it up. And it's very sad, from Morbi to Rajkot to everywhere, every city. If we do a minute study, if your team or any media takes it up, or any citizen takes it up, there would be multiple lapses in all these kind of operations. The nexus between the business houses, the nexus between the municipal corporations, the IS officers and the ministers are out in open. The people are dying. Only 5 bodies DNA could be taken up. Other 23 bodies were charged to the level that you can't recognize, you can't take up the DNS. That's the state of affairs. And no one is talking about this. The more bigger concern is no one is talking about this. It's shameful. It is sad.
And only some suspensions. And only some suspensions.
And
at the
only
most,
optical, on the optics part, suspensions and transfers are happening. And if we are reminded of the Morbi Kand, what has happened? No after the SITs, where are the reports? Are we talking about it?
Yuvraj Pokharna, I'm told, supports the state government. What is there to support? I thought the chief minister should have resigned after this. If nothing else, the chief minister should have resigned, ministers should have resigned. 2-3 officials being suspended. Do you know the owner had not obtained the fire NOC? He was partying. He was partying with the local officials. The gaming zone had rubber and resin flooring, polystyrene thermocol, sheet partitions. Can you imagine this, Sohail? Thermocol partitions, 1,000 tires, 3,000 liters of inflammable, flammable fuel. You are not allowed to store more than 25 liters without a license. You kept 3,000 liters. All the fueling was manual. And in order to make sure more people came in, you reduced the entry price to 99 rupees on the weekend, so that more children could come and more children could die. Then they did welding. They did welding when the games were in progress. So there was thermocol, thousands of liters of petrol, and welding going on. And no political responsibility.
In India, it's So three
Arnab,
things
may I-
happen in our fine country. Number one, if you go and seek permissions after having done everything in the correct manner, you will never get that permission. It's like Hobson's Jobson's. Number two, in order to get permissions, you have to bribe, and you have to bribe everyone, including bribe authorities, which you would have imagined would be more responsible. Number three, when the accident happens, what happens is you start suspending people. Why don't you put a murder charge against the municipal officials and against the fire officials or whoever who are responsible for giving permissions? In a manner of speaking, it's culpable homicide. In a manner of speaking, it's abetment to murder. But you won't do that. So who gets caught? No one.
Nothing.
It's a brilliant system that has been, no pun intended, that has been gamed in India.
Yeah, Sohail.
Everyone is responsible.
Sohail, the
but
High
one
Court
is
says, the High Court says that we can no longer trust the state government.
What does it mean?
I'm saying, what does it mean? If you can no longer trust the state government, okay,
It's very nice for the
state
High
government
Court
will say, don't
to
trust
say
us.
We don't trust
Big
the
deal.
administration. Then who do you trust? Do you trust the government of Fiji? It's very fine for the justice system or the judges of the Gujarat High Court to say, we don't trust Gujarat's administration. Fine. Where does that leave the citizen of Gujarat?
Nothing.
Who should he trust?
These are only statements. They mean nothing unless it amounts to some action. So, Yuvraj, is there no shame in the state government?